Hey guys, it's Emma. Welcome back to my channel. Hi, it's been a little while since I've talked to you guys. I kind of dropped off the map after I posted those UK videos. I'm sorry. Those videos took so much work and I really needed to get home and work on all my summer work as well for school because that's a thing. But I'm back, here I am, and we're going to be doing another video, as I'm sure you know by the title, talking about some of my favorite spots in Oxford. This would be a great video to watch for you if you're thinking about going, if you want to go, and this is just my experience, obviously, and I think it's a little bit more in-depth than anything like I read researching before, because obviously I lived there for 2 weeks. So if you want to know my favorite spots or just see some full footage, because I'm going to try to incorporate all the footage that I have of these places, if I have any at all, or maybe just some pictures so you can see what it's kind of like. So without further ado, if that sounds good to you, we're going to get right on into the video. Okay, so my favorite spot, first I'm just going to say, was my college that I stayed at. I stayed at univ. That was by far one of my favorite places, obviously, because it was where I was staying. It's really cool. It's basically Oxford. There are like 39 colleges, and univ and this other college go back and forth on like who's the oldest, but we know that univ was founded, I think, sometime in like 1200, which makes it pretty freaking old. So it's really cool. It's really pretty. We had a campus cat named Lyra, who I had in my previous video, and I just loved it there. I loved going to the Fellows Garden there, which I don't know if every college has this, but I know that Exeter does. And basically it's like a little garden off the side kind of where you can like work and stuff, and I worked and edited one day while I was there in that garden, and we had a creative writing class one day while we were there in that garden, and I love it there. It is so peaceful. It literally doesn't even feel like you're in the city at all. You can't hear any of the street noise, which is actually great because Oxford is a very touristy place. Like, it doesn't feel like a college town. It definitely feels a little bit touristy. So that's obviously one of my first favorite places. You can't really get in there unless they have the touring hours going on, but I felt like I should mention it because that was the place where I was living and everything. So that's definitely my first favorite place. Second favorite place, it's called Chatime. My friend Sophie from Taiwan, hi Sophie if you're watching this, Sophie told me that they have these in Taiwan as well, but they have, so it's like kind of a franchise, but they have one right on the corner, like across from the Gloucester, I don't know how to say it, Gloucester, it's Gloucester, Gloucester Green Market. So like you walk down this street and it's right here, and then if you keep going that way, the market is like right there. And I made a mistake in that last video. I called the Gloucester Market and the Covered Market both the Covered Market, but yeah. So Chatime bubble tea. I tried 4 bubble tea places while I was there. I have a bit of an addiction to boba. It's bad, guys. But Bubbleology was by far the worst, but that's the one that I know the most people go to. Would not recommend. I tried Mubu. That was really good as well. It's on Turl Street, right by this place that I went to that's on the list later. But yeah, I definitely, out of all of them, Chatime was my favorite. Obviously, that's just my taste. Like, you guys might like something different, but if I had to recommend one Chatime, it would be that. So piggybacking off what I just said for Chatime is the Gloucester Green Market. That is, I think it operates from like Wednesday to something. You'd have to look up the dates online, but it's basically like all these merchants selling all these different types of food. Like, it's not just one type of food, it's not just one product. I got a really cool ring from there. I was thinking of doing like what I brought back in the UK video, so you'll probably see it then if I end up doing that. But yeah, it is so cool. There were so many people. There's like all the food, the cuisines are so unique. We went there once for journalism. Some people asked, like, my partner that I was with asked like the guy that was selling food about like his business and stuff and his cuisine. And then I, being totally extra like I am, I went out and started asking random people in this marketplace about their opinions on Boris Johnson because no one else in the class wanted to do it. Well, I think there were a few people that wanted to do it, but I think I was the only one that actually got like solid interviews from people. And yeah, so I was just going crazy there, but you don't have to go crazy to go there. There's so many cool places. There's this really cool pizza shop also, because how it is it's like ringed around by shops. So these are like actual stores that have permanent locations, and then right in the middle of it, like, people will set up these booths. So like there's a permanent location that's like a pizza restaurant that's supposed to be really good, and then there's also like a dessert place that is good. I went there. But yeah, just the market in general, I'd really recommend going if you can. The vibe is just so cool, and there are so many different people from different places. And also, it's really, really close to Worcester College, which was one of the colleges that we were at. It's literally was like, you go through and then you can just, Worcester's right there. So I would always like cut through there when I was going to class, or if I was coming back from class, or for class, like I said. But yeah, no, I really, really loved that place. It was so cool, and there's so many different interesting types of people to meet, so I'd definitely recommend it. So also around the same area near the Gloucester Green Market is the Ashmolean Museum, and I'd really recommend going there. We went there one day for creative writing class, and I think that was in the end of my vlog of the first week. You can see some footage from it in there, but it's free to enter and it's super cool. They have so many cool artifacts. There's like levels of the museum, there's a cafe on the bottom floor, there's like painting galleries, and I only really got to look through like the painting thing. My friend and I were planning on going back, but of course we only had like 2 weeks, so we didn't end up making it back, but it is free and it's a really, really cool place, and they have great artifacts. I would just really recommend going, checking it out. You can just wander around, like there are places to sit. We went for creative writing class and then went to the cafe afterwards, and I wrote a piece about one of the paintings in there. I'll try to put it on the screen. But yeah, it was amazing. I really love it there, and it is so cool. I think that they have it open to everyone. I love when places like that really keep knowledge free, you know? That sounds so cheesy, but like it is so nice to just be able to walk in there and kind of look around. Like my creative writing teacher didn't have to worry about paying to get us in. It was very nice, and it was totally worth it. They have such cool artwork there. Okay, so also one place that I just figured I'd mention that I never actually got to go to. I think it's called the Eagle and Child. It's like this pub that's famous for like a bunch of writers writing there. Like a bunch of famous ones. Hold on, let me look it up. Yeah, but like I think it closed because of a fire. Yeah, Eagle and Child, nicknamed the Bird and Baby Pub. So it's on St. Giles Street. So it's like if you're coming away from the Ashmolean Museum, like if you're walking, yeah, it's like over there. That was not very descriptive, but yeah, it is famous for having like an association with this writers society of like, I think they're called the Inklings, which included J.R. Tolkien, who studied at Exeter, and C.S. Lewis, and then people would just go, like the writers would go to this pub and just chat about their writing, and I never actually got to go inside, but if it is open when you're there, please go for me and let me know how it is, because I really, really want to go. Okay. So now, kind of like circling back to the main area of town where I was staying, not necessarily the main area, but I'm kind of just going about this in my head as if I was going from place to place, the order I would go in. So I know this is going to be so cheesy, but Tesco, there is a Tesco right coming back from the Ashmolean if you're going back towards High Street. It's great. It has self-checkout. It's super fast. They have my favorite candy there, which by the way, I literally bought like so much of it, and I was like, I'm going to bring this back, and it and a bag of my swimsuits were the only things I forgot. And Tesco doesn't ship to the US. So if anyone has those fizzy strawberry Lances, send them my way because I want some and I forgot mine. But yeah, Tesco is just great for everything. Something that really surprised me is they have great fruit. Like, I'm someone who, if I eat too much junk food, I start feeling sick. So right when I got there, I kind of went, stocked up on fruit, and was just like, making sure that if I ate junk food all day, I could go back to the dorm and have something healthy so I wouldn't feel totally ill. And their fruit was great. Like, they had really good kiwis for some reason. Like, I find myself getting addicted to kiwis when I was there because I would just go to Tesco, buy kiwis, eat them, go back and get more. But, like, no, yeah, they had really good quality fruit. Like, I don't know if that's just a UK thing and like the US's food sucks, but like, no, it was great and it's super fast, super easy. Definitely recommend Tesco. Even just like going and looking at like the snack aisle or like the candy aisle, I would recommend just for the experience. If you're from the UK, you're probably like, girl, what? But as someone that doesn't have that in the US, it was very nice, very helpful, and the self-checkout was way faster than anything I've ever had to deal with in the US. Like, it was just very effective and efficient. You kind of just went through and left. So I definitely recommend stopping by if you haven't been. So now if we're kind of going back up along High Street, they have this truck called Crepesomania, and there's one I think in the park, but there's one that parks like right outside these really touristy shops on High Street, and it's there like every morning, and I went once and I got one crepe and I ate it all and I was like, oh my god. And so then I went and got another one. I would really recommend it. The guy was really nice. He like talked to me while he was making it. It was really cool to like see him make it, do the little thing. I don't think I got any footage of that because I feel like that'd be kind of awkward, but I would definitely recommend going to check Crepesomania out. They're there most mornings, honestly. Like I saw them every single morning when I was walking to class. Maybe not every day, but consistently enough where if you're in Oxford for a few days, you could definitely go if you wanted to. I'd recommend for breakfast, and even if you're like, don't really want to eat it like right away, I sometimes like I would get one and just like stick it in my fridge and then eat that for breakfast the next morning. So yeah, I definitely recommend checking it out. The guy was super sweet and it was just so good. That's one thing. They have like so many crepe places there. Maybe it's just a Europe thing, but like I miss it. I want a crepe. I want a crepe from there. Another food recommendation, really, really close to where they usually park the crepe truck, is called Cafe Creme. So my mom and I went there when we were first in Oxford back in April, with that video that's going kind of viral on my channel when I first went to the UK. And it is so good. You can order like a sandwich and then they make like smoothies as well. So I usually just get a sandwich and a smoothie and then sit outside, and it's really cheap. It's really good. I think they have desserts as well. And the guy that owns it is like really nice. Very fast too, like it does not take that long. Like sometimes they'll be out of smoothie stuff, but like it's to be expected. They're literally on High Street. So I would definitely recommend going there if you're kind of at a loss of where to go for lunch or where to eat. Definitely check Cafe Creme out. I don't know if I'm even saying that right, but yeah, I would definitely recommend going there. It's on High Street, really close to where they park the crepe truck. Okay, continuing kind of down High Street. If you're not from Oxford, you probably don't even know what I'm talking about, but anyway, Blackwells. You should really, really, really go to Blackwells. I got a bunch of stuff from Blackwells that I'll probably show you if I do that video, but Blackwells is literally, okay, so it's like the student bookstore, but it's also like a bookstore. It's not just like textbook stores. For example, when you go to US universities, like they usually have a bookstore, and I remember going into my first one when I was like 7, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna find so many books, I'm so hyped, and I walked in and it was all textbooks. So that's not Blackwells. Blackwells, it's kind of structured. It has like a bunch of levels. So the first level, I think it's just like regular books. Bottom level is like more textbooky type stuff. I don't know if it's necessarily textbooks, but I know that our tour guide said when we were there that most students will get their books from there. So I'd assume so. I didn't spend too much time down there because I didn't really need textbooks, obviously. And then they have another floor up where they have a cafe that you can eat at. I ate there one day. I sat next to a lady. She was really lovely. She was super friendly. And I also ended up I went to an author talk the author is a friend of my journalism professor's. And I ended up getting a signed copy of her book from Blackwells, which is really nice because I got the last one. But yeah, I'd really recommend going there. They have awesome books, awesome merch, and they have these really cool, okay, I got one of these. So they have these like notebooks, but it's not actually a notebook. It's the cover of a book that they've had to since recycle, but then they put the book cover on like a blank, basically like notebook, like it's just blank sheets of paper inside, but it looks like a real book, and they sell them as like notebooks, and they have like a little Blackwells stamp on them. They're so cool, and they have like cool tote bags as well that everyone usually gets. So I definitely really recommend going to Blackwells. Even just like wandering around, like when I was there, I kind of just like sat down and started like looking through books and stuff, and that was just like what people were doing. Like there was another girl, clearly college age, that came over and like sat down across from me and was doing the exact same thing, and I was like, but yeah, no, definitely recommend. Kind of impossible to miss, honestly. It's right on High Street, so if you're in Oxford, definitely go check out, or even just walk inside of Blackwell. Now, if we're, again, continuing off High Street, the Bodleian Library, literally impossible to miss, like right across from Blackwell's. I'd really recommend you go there. You can't actually like really go in, but I'm sure as you've seen in my videos, I won't harp on about it too much. A scene from Harry Potter was filmed there, and it's just really fun to walk through. Like I would cut through it sometimes, going to Worcester or going to class. And I was just kind of like walking through it and looking around, and I think it is so cool that some people have access to that library. The resources they have there is actually insane, and even just going for the architecture or looking at it, even though you can't really get inside it, I definitely would recommend. And then kind of attached to the Bodleian Library, also you should probably go to the Radcliffe Camera. You kind of just walk through the library and the camera is right there, and then All Souls is like right there. So definitely some sites that you should check out. I'm not sure if I had those in my video. I can't exactly remember. I'm sure I had the camera, but like, definitely just things you need to see. Even if we can't go inside them, they're just amazing feats of architecture, and I'm so jealous of the students that can go. Okay, also somewhere what I'd recommend is that I actually went a lot because my creative writing teacher, hi Rob, was a huge fan of the coffee place there. One of the coffee places there. So the covered market, the actual covered market this time, is like right off of, oh my god, I've been calling High Street the wrong thing the entire time. Okay. That's so embarrassing. Well, anyway, if you didn't know what I was babbling on about at High Street, I'm totally wrong. The main street where like literally everything that I was recommending was on is not High Street. High Street is where Univ College is, and it's also where like it's also where the covered market is. Okay, hold on. I need to look this up now because this is gonna drive me crazy. Okay, Broad Street. Broad Street is the main street. Blackwells is on Broad Street. Cafe Creme is on Broad Street. They park the crepe truck on Broad Street. Gosh. Anyway, just know that whenever I said High Street before this, Broad Street. I'll put the right addresses in when I edit this video. Now we're actually on High Street. The covered market, you can get to it through High Street, you can get to it through somewhere else. And there's just like so many things inside of it, like places to go. I got so much cool stuff. Like from there, I got this really cute like duck stuffed animal that I am so obsessed with. But yeah, it is so cool. There's so many like, they have like these, I don't know what they are, like lanterns that hang from like the top of the covered market. They're like Alice in Wonderland themed, I think, because of C.S. Lewis. But like it is so just like nice to go in there and hang out, and it's also covered obviously, so like if it's raining, it never rained while I was there because we were like in that UK heat stroke phase when I was there. But rain or shine, it's nice and cool in there, and you can always head in there. Yeah, I definitely recommend, even if you're just going to the coffee shop that we went to. I don't exactly remember the name of it. Maybe I'll put it on the screen, but if not, I don't really know. Just go to anywhere in there, honestly. You're safe with whatever. The covered market was great. Oh, I went to this great pizza shop in the covered market, which I'd really recommend, which is Santarelli's, I think. They make the pizzas like right in front of you, and it is so cool. The pizzas are so good, and it's really easy because you, like, even if you don't finish it, you can just keep it in the box, bring it back to your dorm, stick it in the fridge, and reheat it like I did in my other video when I was like ripping apart the cardboard box in the middle of our kitchen. So definitely would recommend the covered market. Okay, now this place, I don't exactly know what street it's on, but I'll have like the little address below. Its name is Say's Noodles. I went there like 4 times when I was there. It is so good. Best noodles, super good dumplings, super good bao. One thing I will say is they make their noodles with chili sauce, so if you're not a fan of spice like I'm not, because I'm a wimp, you can just be like, hey, can you take the chili sauce out? And they will, and it's really good. I went there so much. I went there with my friend. I went there on my own. I went there one time for dinner, and there were these British people just like sitting in the corner trash talking American politics, and I was eating my noodles alone, and my AirPods had died, and I was like just listening. I love it there. The people are so nice. They literally make it like right in front of you. It's like handmade. I'd really recommend going there. It's so cool. And then kind of near Say's Noodles, if you just kind of like go to the other street, there's this like tower. I'm gonna have to look up the name of it. Hold on. Okay, so the tower is St. Michael at the North Gate. It's like one of the oldest like standing towers. I think it was built in like 1040 AD. And you pay, I forget how many euros, but it's really not many euros. Don't crucify me. You pay, I forget how many pounds to go up there. And it is so cool. You can look over the entire city. I was up there for a very long time just like alone. Like, there weren't very many people up there. I was kind of just chilling. Another family did come up eventually. But yeah, it was so cool. And like, you walk up this like tower, and they have like different artifacts and like facts and all these just really cool things in the church and the tower. And even if you don't really feel like paying to go up in the tower, you can kind of just like walk in the church, which is also really cool. I'd really recommend it. I mean, it's not that expensive, and if you don't want it to take too long, it doesn't have to take too long. You can kind of just like go up and go, but you get a great view of Oxford, and I think it was totally worth it. All right, so kind of circling back to the actual High Street where Univ is on, one place that I would really recommend is the High Street Cafe. My friend Sophia and I went. Hey Sophia, love you. They have such good food, but not only do they have food, they kind of have like an adjacent bakery, and you can say you want something for takeout. I got another crepe from there, surprise. They were super nice, and the food was so good. Oh my gosh, like I cannot overstate how good it was there, and environment was just really nice. Our server was lovely. Yeah, it was just a great place, great ambiance, great food, and I'd really recommend going there if you need somewhere to go. And also it's kind of right in the action. It's on High Street. Again, like not kind of the main street. The main street is Broad Street, I think. Yes, Broad Street. But High Street is still very busy, and it's really close to the river. Also, you can just keep walking, or another place that I'm going to mention in a second. The other restaurant on High Street I would recommend is the Grand Cafe. I think it says on the outside it was like the first coffee house in England. Very fancy, very cool. I kind of just went in, brought my iPad with me, did some work for creative writing, and they served me, and they were really nice. I got great food there, literally so good, and yeah, it was just great. Like, it's very fancy, very ornate. Like, even if you're not going there to work there, which I think I was the only person actually working while I was there. I saw one other girl doing schoolwork. But yeah, it's definitely a great place to go with like a friend or your family. And I would really, really recommend it because they have really good food. And also you can just be like, I went to the first coffee house in England. So I would really, really recommend going there. Okay, so now, still going along High Street, is the Botanical Garden. You can get in for free if you're a student, I believe. I kind of just showed my ID and they let me in. But I don't think it costs that much if you're not. You kind of just like go in and it's just like this huge, like they have so many plants, so many cool, like we went there for creative writing class and got to work there. I kind of like found a little tree and sat under it. And it goes also right along the river where you can go punting, which I did with my class, and that is something I would really recommend. We may or may not have jumped into the river. Definitely not sanitary, but fun. Anyway, so I was walking like through this botanical garden. We saw the other creative writing class. I said hi to my friends. And then right as I'm walking along this river, let me tell you, the punting river, mind you, boat of guys comes by. I have my AirPods in, so I'm not really listening. And they're like, hey! And so I take my AirPods out and I'm like, hi! And they were these like Italian boys all wearing football jerseys. And one of the guys goes, jump on! Jump on! And I had like my iPad in my back. I was like, no, thanks, I'm good. And they're like, come on, like jump on. And I'm like, guys, I've already been in that river. I can't do this. That was just a funny story from the Botanical Garden. But they have a really lovely gift shop full of super cool books. I got this one book for my friend and cousin that's like botanical in Shakespeare. I thought they would both really like it, and they did. So I'm glad. My cousin actually left his, so I can show it to you. But yeah, come get your book or else. No, I would really recommend going there. A really peaceful place to work. Even if you just want to go like look at all the plants, I would really recommend it, and it's really peaceful because you get to walk by the river. I think it's really neat. All right, one other place I'd recommend in town is called Scriptum. It's like this really fancy stationery book. Like, I got these really, really cool ornate books from there, and they have also really cool, like, stationery, Italian journals, and it's just a really cool place for, like, someone that really loves writing. Like, I really had to restrain myself. I was like, Emma, you've already bought a notebook, no getting any more. But I just really recommend even going in there for, like, the environment. It's super cool. It's decorated really eclectically, and I literally never wanted to leave. I came back twice. I brought my friend back. I was like, let's go! So we went, and I'd really recommend checking it out. Great place to just go in and kind of look around, especially if you love books like I do. It took me so long to find this place. This is going to be my last recommendation. I can't believe I tracked it down. I literally did the directions on Google Maps by memory. I'm so proud of myself. It's called Hamlin Bread, Hamblin Bread. It's a little bit of a walk outside the city, but they make all their stuff fresh, and they have like cheese and stuff that you can buy as well. My friends and I went there for creative writing class on our last day, and it was so good. Like, genuinely, it was so good. I think they're only open for a little bit of the week because they have to like make all this stuff, but like, please, I'm just telling you, go there, get the cheese, get the bread, get whatever you want. They have like cookies and stuff. They have pizza. Would definitely recommend. It is not that long of a walk. It's just not as central as the rest of the stuff. I'm so glad I found that. I was literally struggling to try to track it down on Google Maps. All right, well, that is it for this week's video. If you're still here, I really appreciate you. Please make sure to give this video a like and subscribe if you feel like it, and if you just kind of like me. I'll probably be back to my regularly scheduled book, movie, writing content after I finish up all this Oxford stuff. I'm probably gonna edit this video, put it all together, and then do maybe a bit of a haul of all the stuff I brought back, and then I'll be back to my regular scheduled content. But thank you so much for putting up with the Oxford spam and giving it lots of love. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.